Did you get Joe the Dynamite numbers?
Yes.
Yeah, we got him.
All right, let me guess something. I'm gonna guess as usual. Starts off strong and it ends up weak.
Yep. Well, they basically it remained steady for the match.
Right.
And then when the match is over, there's a big when the Monet stuff and all that other stuff started. There was a huge. They dropped off like 100,000 people. It's pulled up, Joe. They dropped off like 100,000 people.
Yeah. Remember when some guys, they're not doing it as much now. They're like, oh, well, MJF's not a draw. Well, there's the proof.
Well, I honestly, okay, so this is kind of weird. The whole first hour was above like 840,000, right?
Right.
The final number of the show is only 795. So that shows you how much it dropped off.
No, 685.
No, 795.
What am I looking at here? It says, doesn't it say here in the graph,
No.
685?
The actual total viewers for the whole show.
Oh. What was it?
Right. 795.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it's kind of weird. I thought it would be over. I thought it would be over 8. I thought it'd be over 8.
Well, it's almost
with those guys. It was over 8 for those two
Right.
two guys because they're saying. But let's get to it. So they open up at the start of this match.
Don't read everything move for move.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to read anything. I'm just going to tell you this is not my cup of tea.
Right.
I watched the show. This will be my take on this, okay? And I'm sure it's not going to be what people want to hear, right? But I'm not watching weekly episodic television to watch a 1 hour match. Right? I was constantly during this match changing the channel, coming back to it and stuff because I mean, the past couple of weeks have been my type of show that I like to watch. That AEW's been doing. There's a lot of stuff going on. They were hot shotting, and they just completely threw that formula in the trash. Even though I thought the shows were doing good, I said, okay, we're just going to put on a bunch of long wrestling matches this week, and we're not going to have a lot of storylines or even any storylines, And everybody's talking about how great the match was, but this is my issue with the Will Ospreay match. Okay, if somebody's trying to tell you what's the psychology, okay. Watch this match and tell me the psychology isn't okay. Nothing hurts. You can throw the kitchen sink at me, and I'm going to kick out of everything for both guys. That's the psychology of this match. They did about an hour's worth of moves to each other and couldn't pin each other. All right, and then at the end, they counted it down and ref bump, and MJF puts the ring on and clobbers him with a punch, knocks him out. 1, 2, 3. He's a new champion. They did some comedy at the end where they had the gas, the oxygen mask on MJF because he was like, he was like passed out. That was actually pretty funny. But I'm sorry, they're positioning Ospreay as their number one babyface guy. They want to go, bro. He's doing too many He's taking too many losses here. This is 2 losses against guys that he should be up there on the card with in 2 weeks, two clean pins. Well, not clean, but he got screwed with the ring, but he's been pinned twice. What do you think of this?
I wonder if their number one guy is Swerve then Ospreay, but he does take a lot of losses.
He is. I think so, but the narrative is an Ospreay is.
Yeah.
And he is taking 2. This guy shouldn't be losing like this often.
This was a good match. It was way, way too long for me. The best part of the match was the last 5 minutes. And you're right. There's no selling because this is the Japanese style that Ospreay's used to. You're not in Japan anymore, but the hardcores love the Japanese style. A lot of overreacting when MJF put the mask on, like he looked like he was going to die. You should have been selling it like 10 minutes before the match ended. I will say I liked when Ospreay was selling his knee because he was even walking on his toe to make it seem like he's keeping weight off his leg. That's very nice French kiss touch. MJF used the Styles Clash and the Crossroads. Bro, I couldn't believe when he did that Poison Rana or whatever he did to MJF, reverse Hurricane or whatever it was, and he landed on his feet.
Right. Bro, I'm not. All that is it's like, here's all the things we can do. We're going to do them all.
Right.
And it's like a lot of that flip stuff where you land on your feet is like, let's do this spot.
So I didn't expect them. Right.
So,
but I still didn't expect them to do that. Then Ospreay did something very, very similar. But it's like, look, we're acrobatic is what they're saying. And the fans like that. Most of them.
Okay.
And
I just want to say this.
Go ahead. Way, way way too long. And the bottom line is they got the best numbers. I hope because they got best numbers, we're not going to start seeing 30 and 40-minute matches.
Hang on. Here, this is fascinating. Oh my God. I'm going to read you something here. This is You're going to love this, Konnan. Okay. Right. This match, Jason Powell's review of this match. Okay.
Right.
Poor Jason Powell. Dude, 32 paragraphs.
What?
32 paragraphs
on the match?
On this match. That's how much stuff happened in this match. He had to write 32 paragraphs worth of stuff.
And what was his final thing?
Let me read you a random paragraph. This is one of the paragraphs.
Yeah.
MJF whipped. This is a random paragraph in the middle of the match. MJF whipped Ospreay toward a corner of the ring, but Ospreay sold his knee and collapsed. MJF looked into the crowd and smiled. MJF chopped Ospreay, raked his back. MJF sent Ospreay toward the ropes, but Ospreay's knee gave out again. You
know what it sounds like? You know how when you're reading like baseball or football and it says play-by-play or game?
Right,
it's like the play. Yeah, it's an actual play-by-play of the wrestling match. So I don't need to hear all of that. 32 paragraphs, guy reading. What was his final thing? What was his final synopsis?
MJF shoved Ospreay in the referee, and they put some capital letters. Ref bump with 3 exclamation points.
No, but it says final thoughts or something like that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Powell's POV. A killer match. The live crowd seemed fully invested from start to finish, even though with the threat of it going to a time limit draw. I'm happy they went with Ospreay not using the Tiger Driver in this match, as opposed to making that a big part of the finish of his AEW World Championship match at Forbidden Door. The Dynamite Diamond Ring finish was perfect for MJF character and protected Ospreay. Oh, by the way, in this match, they did a gimmick where he went to use the Tiger Driver again and talked his way out of it and didn't use it, and that led to him losing and stuff. So it's like, I don't know.
They did a finish that sounded good, but it didn't come out as good as they probably sounded when they went over it. The match had 2 seconds before it would be a tie, but he hit him with the ring and he won.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was not my cup of tea. This cat, I'm not going to. You're not. If you would have told me they were going to have an Iron Man match, okay, I would have basically started watching the show at right near the end of the Iron Man match.
That's weird. How come we didn't know it was an Iron Man match? Had they announced it?
It was not an Iron Man match. It just almost went to a 60-minute draw.
Well, might as well have been.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's you're going into a pay-per-view coming up, and you need all the time you can to tell stories to make people interested in the matches. In the middle of this build to All In, they're having a 60-minute match on a 2-hour show. Why don't you just have a 2-hour match?
Who is MJF wrestling in All In?
I'd love for them to do this. A 2-hour match.
It's already? Oh, I thought it was in Wembley. It's already going to happen?
That's going to be on August 25th, so a month and a week.
Oh, a month. Well, why wasn't Daniel Garcia involved in this somehow?
Wait, you know what? Disco,
what?
Or Konnan. He's wrestling Daniel Garcia, right? Because on the Wikipedia,
that's been announced.
At Wembley.
It's been announced.
It's not on the Wikipedia for some reason. That's weird.
Well, maybe they took the match.
Yeah, but why wasn't? If he's going to wrestle him, why wasn't Daniel Garcia on this show?
He's hurt. They said he had no. They said he had no feeling in his arms.
Oh, that's right.
Last week,
he's got injuries.
He's got Daniel Garcia's been paralyzed.
Well, dude, they should do a video package on him or something. Keep him in the mind of everybody.
Because he was the build for this whole match. Basically, he's part of the build for it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand, and we say on here a lot, like you guys just had the conversation. Well, it's wrestling, but when they tell me via their commentators or something that Daniel's got cervical injuries, and it's not a medical specifics. Instead of them going, it just doesn't sound real. Just tell me that he's got a bulging disc or something. Don't give me this weird.
Well, the problem is that we're kind of part of the hardcore fan base, and we know it's very easy to look it up and see it's not real.
Yeah.
I don't know how. But my bigger problem isn't that, because you just suspend your disbelief like everything else. Why isn't they doing like a video package on the MJF Daniel Bryan rift or something pre-recorded?
Because your show had an hour-long match.
Well, he should have been on the show somehow.
So where's the other time for the other stuff?
Okay, when they're doing that, they could have taken out the Briscoe interview backstage. They could have taken out the Brandon Cutler and Jack Perry thing and put in a video package. Right. I think that's way more important.
This is the stuff that we're talking. This is kind of funny too, because this is stuff that we're talking about, right? And you go and listen to these other podcasters and Dave and stuff. They're doing 10 to 15 minutes just talking about the match.
That's
I'm like,
way
who gives
too
a
much.
Like,
Right.
you know,
Way
it's
too
like-
much.
Well, it's 32. It was a 32 paragraph match. It was a record,
Right.
but Jason Powell. I'm gonna actually
Now-
tweet that to
now,
Jason
Joe,
Powell.
Yes.
What was the number last week for Dynamite compared to this week? Do you know?
Yeah, I got it right here. 795 this week. Last week 691. They went up 15%.
So that long match helped them.
Wait,
And it also says this episode, like I said, 795 versus the average of the past 4 weeks was 640. So they're actually up 24% from the last 4
Of course
episodes.
they were.
Yeah.
Because and why did they have such a good number this week?
What was the leading Republican National Convention?
No, it's not even that. Bro, they advertised a match between two stars. You know that
Right.
built up for a couple weeks, and that's what you, bro. You can go over 800,000 every single week. You can do Christian versus Jay White,
Which is
next
what
week
we've
and
been
build up-
saying.
you
Which
can,
is what
like,
we've
you-
been saying.
Right. You can have you got all these guys. You can
There's
put-
the proof.
Yeah, bro. We never really remember Nitro. They didn't really hold a lot back.
Right.
Remember, they had the top 12 guys, and like
Yeah.
at least
You're
two
on
of the matches
TV.
on the
Bring
show
it.
was some of the top guys fighting each other every
Right.
single week, regardless. You know, so
Right.
yeah. So
And even when there was a match like where, as a fan, you could go, all right, hey, look, they're going to have Kurt Hennig versus Chris Jericho. And you know Kurt's going to take it because he just came in and he's a bigger star at the time. But you know it's going to be good either way, too. You know, they're going to
it's
have
a compelling
they're gonna bring
matchup. You're not exactly sure what they're going to do.
Right.
You know,
Well,
and
Tony
so-
was too busy trying to make mid-carders, which you can't make them just because they wrestle a
Right.
star. Takes
Right.
time.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.